There are lots of cool mods for Tacomas out there, hundreds, maybe even thousands of different options for what you can do. Today, I'm going to do a review of all of my interior mods. What have I put on my Tacoma? And I'm going to give it a little bit of a grade, an A, a B, or a C. An A is a must-have, a B is a nice-to-have, and a C is maybe something I would think about doing a different mod than what I did. Let's go over interior mods that I've done so far so that you can have ideas of stuff that you might want to consider or that you might want to avoid. Let's get into it right now. Let's go. So the interior, that's where you spend all your time, right? You're sitting in your truck, you're driving it around. The exterior mods are awesome. A lot of them are for looks and aesthetics, others for functionality, but you don't see those. The stuff inside your Tacoma, that's the stuff that you see all the time. So I'm gonna go over everything that I've done on the interior of my Tacoma, and like I said, A, B, or C. A is a must-have, B is a nice-to-have, and C are some mods that I've done that I'm actually thinking I should have done something different. Let's start with some of my blackout mods. Like many of you, I'm not a fan of chrome, so one of the first things I did was black out the badging on the steering wheel. This is a simple overlay. I also blacked out the handles, as you can see. These are also just clip and overlays. This I think I got from Miso Customs. This I just got off of Amazon. All these mods, I'll try to put links down where I got them so you can kind of check them out. And obviously anything you get through Amazon helps out the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. This video isn't sponsored by Amazon or any of these companies, but I'm going to tell you some of the ones that I've liked better. This I've had on since day one. I'm in Utah. We get extreme hot, 100-degree weather plus. We get extreme cold. It's held up like a champ. It's just on there with some 3M tape. This is a mod I'm going to give an A. I did not like seeing the chrome every time I drove. This is an A mod for interior. Gotta have it. It's super inexpensive. Just get it right away. Stick it on there. It's going to last. The next one is the handles from Miso Customs. I really like the feel of these. They've got a nice texture to them. If you're into blackouts and don't like the chrome, then absolutely you should get rid of the chrome and do this. But this is just a nice to have. For me, this is a little bit more of a nice to have. Didn't even notice it as much as other things on the truck. Moving from the steering wheel over to the center console, you'll notice I've got from Tough Skins a little bit of a trim piece there, and then I got these climate control rings over the top. Now this is also the same trim is also on the doors, so I'll show that as well. As you can see, I've got the black truck, I've got the black interior, black and gray, so I'm adding a little bit of splash of color with these blue elements. These rings I've actually really liked. They're grippy on the outside. They look nice. People jump in my truck. It's one of the first things they notice. I like the blue in them. I think this blue matches really well with the blue that I'm going for. So this is one that I definitely do again. I'd give this an A rating. The little trim there is nice. I go back and forth on whether this is a nice to have or whether I'd rather have done something different. You know, they're not terribly expensive, but they're not cheap either, and I don't really notice them as much. The blue color is a little bit different. It's almost a translucent, and so probably hard to tell on camera, but it's not quite the same brightness and strength as these other ones are. And so that's something that really makes just kind of a big difference when it comes to those. Then you can see I've got my center inserts as well. I've got those in the blue trim. They come in all different colors as well. Those actually I really like. I like the color that it adds. If you drop something, it makes it easier to see. Also, a lot of times I'll pull out these little pads, clean them up really nicely, and it keeps the interior cups pretty clean. I've got them in the center. I've also got them on the side. You can see there. This is one I definitely do again. Again, not very expensive, but at the same time, adds some functionality, adds some aesthetics, makes it so much easier to clean. So this is definitely one that I'd give an A to. One of my favorite mods is my shift knob. I got it in the blue to match. I love the look of it. I love the feel of it. You know, when you're going to shift, it's got some strength to it. Now this is a little more expensive mod, and that's why I'm going to give it a B. Going to give it a nice to have. Definitely something I'd spend the money on and do before, especially because I was able to get it in that blue that I just think looks really sharp. But it's definitely a little bit more of an investment, and it just adds some aesthetics. It's just kind of a nice to have. So taking out the center organizer, I've got this organizer here as well. I'm going to be honest, I don't love it. I actually think I would do something different. It is nice that it's got some compartments and pockets, but there's some bigger things that don't fit. I mean, they basically got to fit down in there. That's when I would definitely probably do something different. The center console organizer, this one here, this is actually one of my top 3 mods. This is one of the first things I got. It's one of the first things I'd recommend to people. So center console organizer, absolutely an A mod. You got to have it. Speaking of blackout, I will tell you, there are some newer mods to cover up the chrome right here. I actually would like to get those. I didn't like the ones that you got to pull this whole console apart. It just felt like a little too much work for what it was. But the ones that go over the top with the 3M tape, I think that's the next thing that I'm going to get for the interior. I think that'll look really nice. Cover up that chrome. I mean, these rings are pretty big when you look at all 3 of them or 4 of them actually all the way across. So it's not one I've done, but it's definitely one I'm looking to do. Next thing I did was the interior lights. I love these, especially as we get into fall and winter. It starts to get dark. Those are absolutely a must. Now, I will tell you, some people have complained that these are too bright at night, that the person here is getting blinded by them. If you feel like that, just don't change out these bulbs. That would be my recommendation. But all the other ones, I love them. I absolutely think they're an A mod. I don't like the yellow. Especially when you're talking about the dome light, you're talking about night, starts to get darker. I absolutely would do those again. And speaking of organization, I never would be able to get all this crap in here if it wasn't for this. I didn't get this one for a while, actually. I didn't have this right at first. I got this a little bit after the fact. And I'm going to say it's a nice to have. It's not a must have. And that's just because, you know, I don't store a lot of stuff in there because I have the center console organizer. This is a nice to have for sure, but I don't think it's a must have. But it does allow you to keep all this crap I have in there and keep it somewhat organized. That's organized-ish, right? This is one I almost forgot about. It's actually the seat stuffers. You can see them right there. I often have this kind of like camera selfie stick just sitting on that one. Don't even notice it's there. But if you ever drop stuff down in here, you know what a pain it is to try to get it out. This is one, again, I wish I had done sooner. I dropped way too much stuff down there, spent time looking for it when I could have just dropped these in. They match the seats. You don't even notice they're there until you drop something. And then as soon as you drop something, you're glad that you can just grab it right like that. All right, my floor mats are super dirty. This is one. These are the original Tacoma ones. I upgraded this when I got the truck. I'm not actually too happy with these. I would redo these, come up with a better option. They just seem like they're coming up all over the place, even on the passenger side that I don't use all that much. I don't have people driving with me, but I think there's got to be some better all-weather mats out there than the Tacoma ones. All right, that's going to do it for my interior mod review. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a ton. Also, let me have you check out this other video on running boards, talking about exterior mods. If you thought about running boards, do you have them? Check out this video and let me know what you think.